Hey guys. I don't have a Tinder story for you tonight, but I actually have a Facebook dating story. It's almost better in a way. I don't know. Facebook is not really for dating. Like, we get on Facebook to watch cat videos and, look at memes and be mean to each other from a political standpoint. That's why we're on Facebook. When you throw in something like dating, it's just one more task or chore that you have to do while you're on Facebook. So I don't know why it exists, but I tried it out and I did connect with someone. This has actually been fairly recently. This was, I think, in February. As you'll know when I tell my story. But I had matched with this man, and this was like our second or third time to match. And that happens a lot when you're on the the different dating apps, is you'll match with someone, and because of timing or whatever, you don't really connect. And then 6 months later, you'll come across them again and be like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you still don't connect. And so it's like this, I don't know what you want to call it, but revolving door of the same people in some ways. But there was one guy that I had matched with a few times. For whatever reason, we hadn't connected. And this last time, he's like, I almost didn't swipe right on you because I figured we'd connect, circle around each other, and then nothing would happen. And I'm like, well, it's good that we're chatting now. And honestly, this guy was really handsome. Cute, I think, is a better term. Like, there's a difference between handsome and cute. And my initial thought of him was he's cute. And because of like where his personality went, as we started talking, I started to lean towards, okay, I'm going to think he's good looking, attractive as well. So we start talking, and he's traveling out of the country at the time. And I asked him, it just seemed like kind of a random time, but he was in Mexico. I was like, what are you doing there? And he said, I was supposed to be here with my girlfriend, but we broke up. I was like, oh, that sucks. But it ended up being the perfect time for us to spend some time messaging each other and kind of like getting to know each other, because he wasn't doing anything there really, at least with another person. And so it's a good way. I mean, that's what's great about some of the dating apps anyway, is on nights that you're feeling lonely or want a little company, sometimes you can connect with someone and even just message for the night and never even meet up. That happens sometimes too. But anyway, he was sending me like videos of him on the beach, and not of him, but just like videos of the beach. And, we're sending music back and forth, and we're just really hitting it off from like an intellectual standpoint. He's just a very, very smart person. And we had a lot of the same interests. We were both into writing. And so I'm telling him I'm, writing a book, and he's like, I'm writing a book too. And I was like, but he was. I asked him lots of very specific questions, and he was. And so we had a lot of time talking about that, and it was really nice. Like, we're clicking a little bit. And then I'm sending him some songs to listen to. Sorry, that's my cats. Sorry, we might as well get this on camera while I'm talking. Anyway, so we're like getting to know each other, and like he's attractive, and oh my God. Okay. Stop it. Stop. So anyway, we're talking more. This phone's going over more and more. And we're thinking, okay, how quickly can we get, connected when he's back in the country? And I think we're both thinking this. We're both inclined to have this feeling just based on the conversations that we're having. And we just sort of had this kind of, you've known someone for a long time, and like we just started to sink down into that vibe, which was cool. And so first time in a long time, like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And so we happened to be talking on the night that all of the planets lined up in the sky. Stop. Anyway, the night and I think this is late February. I don't want to stop and start over. Fuck. All right. So I'm outside here checking out the planets, and like, I don't know. I looked up in the sky. I'm like, there's just white stuff in the sky. Like, whatever. I don't really care, I guess. You know what I mean? And he was doing that in Mexico as well. So we started to have this conversation about the universe and the galaxy and like these, I love to have those deep kind of conversations. I just have a tendency to get very anxious if I get sucked into that for too long. So anyway, we start talking very deeply about things, and then he says, we live on a plane. And I was like, like a plane? Like, are you talking like a flat Earth type situation? You're not talking. Okay. So I had to pause and clarify. I said, you're not talking flat Earth, are you? And he's like, yes. And so he comes back with this whole paragraph about how the Earth is flat and there's like magnets on either side. I don't even know which particular conspiracy he was into, because I was just like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, like that, no. No. And so he sends me another message that's like, no, you need to open your mind. Don't, discard all of the stuff that you've been indoctrinated in. And like, the moon landing is a hoax. And I mean, I said, no, that's a conspiracy. That's fucking crazy. And it is. So I said, I'm out. Which apparently is like my favorite term to let somebody know this is not happening anymore. And so like right at that point, when we realized we were not on the same page with that, we cut it off right then, had like zero contact after that. So I was telling my brother about the story. I was like, that's a deal breaker, isn't it? Like, he's like, yes, that is absolutely a deal breaker. And I'm like, I know, but like everything else was so good. But obviously, like, we're not living in the same reality if that's the case. And if he's prone to that one conspiracy, then he's going to be prone to a whole bunch of other stuff too. So, and then I ended up telling my mom, and she's like, flat Earth, what are you talking about? I'm like, you haven't heard of a flat earther? Like people that legitimately think the Earth is flat? She's like, no, I've never heard of that. I'm like, all right, well, Mom, now you're up to speed. And I am off Facebook dating. I think that's enough. Anyway, I thought I would tell that story because I thought it was funny. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.